Homeownership affordability falling to its lowest level since 1980. Potential buyers facing a combination of high interest rates and property taxes on top of surging costs for insurance, maintenance, and other expenses. Joining us to talk about what they're seeing in the housing market, the Property Brothers are here, Jonathan Scott and Drew Scott. They are the Scott Brothers global co-founders. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, but who's who? That's the question.
Yeah.
Can you remember? Tell us apart? We can tell you guys apart.
Out. So.
You can tell us apart?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, here's my question to you. Here's the big question that I'm trying to understand. And it's actually the question we talked to Jerry Bernstein about in some ways. It's really an inflation question, and it's a mortgage-related question. Maybe even to the question we talked about yesterday, which is, at this point, given how high mortgage rates have gone, there seems to be a sense that there is no mobility. People feel, those folks who are in their homes feel that they can't leave their home because it's just going to cost too much.
Yeah. Which maybe they shouldn't be leaving their homes anyway, because it used to be you would get a home and you would be in this for your entire family. I mean, people would be in a home for 50 years, 60 years.
Down generation.
Now they say the average person moves every 3 to 5 years, and I don't know who the hell loves moving that much. But every time you move, you've got taxes, you've got real estate fees, insurance, and all this stuff. It's a better idea for people to stay in the investment. That's why we say if you're going to buy a house, get something you know your family can grow into and spread those expenses out over a longer period of time.
Like you're saying as well, too,
right.
With the incentives that are out there, there's a housing crisis, trying to create more density. There are incentives for people to convert their garages into a rental suite or their basement into a rental suite. And so something like that can make it more cost effective for people to live in their home. Anyone who has paid off their home are in a great spot, because there are a lot of people who had low interest rates and now their term's up and they have to refinance at something that's going to be, their expense is going to be over double every month.
What about all the folks who were thinking of doing renos because they thought maybe they ultimately flip the home, like in the next 2 years?
Yeah. Well,
now you don't do the reno. Either you say to yourself, I'm going to do the reno because I want to do the reno for me, because I'm going to be in this, or I'm doing, but also I might have to redo the reno in 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, but also with that cost, doing it for themselves, a lot of people are realizing it's a lot more expensive than they thought. We have so many people that have been saying, even if it is converting a garage, like, oh yeah, I have $50,000, $70,000, I'll renovate the garage. No, a garage conversion right now is something like, I think the cheapest we've been able to do is $200,000, $250,000 to do it right. So it's crazy how much things are costing right now.
So when you guys started, it was what year?
We were 18 years old when we bought our first house.
96, yeah.
So you've seen the lowest of the lows in terms of mortgage rates. I mean, the calculus is just completely different. You mentioned the incentive to convert your garage to rent it, but if it's going to cost you $300,000, what can you rent it for? The ability to recoup that money,
it's the long-term plan.
It's a much longer, right. So what are you finding in terms of the opportunities to do that same traditional flipping that you have become known for?
Well, you really need to be aware of what's available to you. And in some states, and I believe New York is one of them, they offer a cash incentive for people to create an ADU because they want to help with the density problem. So you need to know what's available. There can be tens, even up to $100,000 available for you to put toward that. That makes your numbers look a lot better.
And that's just an extra piece of property on the property.
Yeah, so like converting your garage into a rental ADU or building a garage, an ADU on your property. I think that's going to be actually a huge part of the solution. And if you look at the expenses a homeowner has at home, if all of a sudden you have this additional revenue coming in from someone who's renting a garage space from you, that is a lot more valuable than just looking at the interest rate that you're paying for your mortgage. So,
and also, but the folks renting the ADU, and this is again just what is ADU actually technically?
Auxiliary dwelling unit.
Right, but it's basically just
a
like
rental.
It's like a garage or something else.
Stick your grandma when they call it grandma suite.
But are you doing this as an Airbnb kind of style thing, or are you doing this as a long-term rental?
No, long-term. I mean, short-term has its benefits, but also has some drawbacks and headaches. And certain areas of the country have restrictions on what you can do for short-term rentals. So for us, for example, for my rental portfolio, for every 10 houses that we add to the portfolio, we'll probably have 1 or 2 that we end up flipping, because in the end the numbers did work. But right now it doesn't seem like a flipping market. You just have to adjust into what makes more sense for the current market. And the rental growth, there's a lot of rental demand, made more sense.
So how long do you keep things in your portfolio now?
It's a long-term plan, so I don't look to flip. With the rentals, we don't look to flip, but we have other opportunities that we've had that we've ended up stabilizing and selling. So it just depends.
I don't know if I should admit this. I'm on TikTok and on Instagram.
I've seen you do the dances.
And you've seen
very good.
No, and I see the guys who are desperately trying to tell me how I'm going to become, super wealthy by doing this sort of Airbnb game, where I'm going to actually either buy property and then rent it, or I'm going to rent property and re-rent it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but there's also a lot of restrictions on.
What do you make of that whole phenomenon?
99% of all the get-rich-quick people that you see online are full of beep.
Yep.
If everybody could do this,
I know
everybody would do this. But there's a lot of opportunity.
It doesn't stop me from watching it, thinking about it.
Well, there is potential. I mean, even when we bought our very first house, we bought our first house for only $250 down, and people are like, "How's that even possible?" We read everything, every book we could, infomercials, and discovered that we could do a vendor take-back mortgage for all of the seller's equity, and we found a situation where that worked. Assumed their mortgage at that time. If you didn't have to qualify if you assumed their mortgage. Now you can't do that. But there's all kinds of other options for how you can get into some of this stuff. You don't have to be afraid of debt, but right now debt is very expensive. So that's why if you work out your numbers, the numbers never lie. You know, we just picked up another 20-unit apartment building, and people are like, well, this maybe isn't the greatest time to be looking at something like this. Was the right deal, and the numbers worked. And so you have to look at every situation on its own merit.
All this confusion around what to do, though, that's why we have our new show, Back by the Bros. It's people who have tried to get into real estate. They're not seasoned investors. Some people have had a couple of flip properties they've done in the past or rental units, but they get in over their heads because they've been watching those TikTok videos. They're seeing this content that's telling them you can do this, and then they spend in the worst way. They're not organized, and they end up in over their heads. And so we've had to come and bail them out.
What's the biggest mistake?
Not being organized.
Just not being organized?
You get people who say, I want to be my own GC, I'm going to run my own project. They don't realize as soon as one of their subs doesn't show up, it snowballs and affects everything. And with a rental property, the longer it's sitting, not rented, the faster you're going to dig yourself into a hole you can't get out of.
Here's another huge mistake. Somebody who listens to their, my buddy Jared said blah, 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 whatever it is. Like, don't listen to a random idiot that you know that has no idea about real estate or what he's talking about. But it's usually like the loudest voice in your group is who you listen to, and then you make big mistakes.
Most people love giving advice even when they have no right to give you that advice.
Is there a market that you think is like the next big one to take off?
I'll be totally honest, I think Detroit's amazing.
Detroit?
Yeah, when you look within a city, usually there's a certain area of the city that's really starting to redevelop, and there's so much potential, and eventually a lot of money gets invested, and then that area becomes a very valuable part of the city. Detroit is like that on a national level. Detroit, there's so much money pouring in, so much redevelopment happening. I bet you in 20 years it's going to be one of the most technically advanced cities, and so much offered on the
I also think that Canada, we're from Canada, the government there has incentives to encourage developers to work with multi-family housing as well as rental. I hope they can start to do some incentives down here the same way they are in Canada because it's really making a dent in the housing crisis.